Okay, well, I forgot I was still wearing the pink headphones. Hi.
No, I think it completes the image.
Oh,
It's pretty
thank
great.
you. Thank you. Thanks for letting me borrow them.
You're welcome.
Oh, hey, chat, we're back, and we're gonna do the interview. We had so much fun doing Trombone Champ. Uh, highlight for me is the what was it
Coconut,
called? One Winged Angel,
one winged
Coconut
angel,
Despair.
coconut cream despair, maybe.
Back with snacks and a cozy candle. We are having tea.
A
Do love
candle.
some snacks.
Something on fire in here?
No, I think musicologists
Oh,
is saying
she's
she's
back.
back
Back with snacks.
with snacks and a cozy
All
candle.
right.
Yeah.
So,
And chat is back as well. Hello, chat. And it's almost time to start this interview. Yeah, the vibes sound immaculate.
yeah.
Thank you for yeah. Ooh,
Well, okay then.
Santa.
that's pretty good. Santa. Hey, before we get this interview started, Shirley, do you want to do the honors this week?
Sure, yes. So, hi, welcome to Folkwise. In case you weren't aware, we do interview questions. We don't just do some rockin' doots on the trombone. And Folkwise is more than just the faces you happen to see on various boxes on Twitch. Folkwise is a whole crew of people, and our beautiful, wonderful, intrepid sleuths helped collate the questions. They internet stalked our guest, so that we could have some fun things to talk to them about. And so, if you hear a good question, make sure to thank the sleuths.
Are you ready
Thanks,
to think?
Sleuths.
We haven't asked you a question
I
yet.
just feel like they'll be good.
Oh, thank you. Well,
No, hold on.
when we did sleuth you, Julianne, we did find like the photos of like you and Kathleen from friend of the show, Kathleen Quo from like MAGFest
Oh my god.
18 or whatever. Yeah,
I
and
don't
I was
even
just
know
like
where those are.
yeah, and I was, and people were like, are you like on the other side of the camera in this photo? I'm like, I think so. I think
so
I am.
funny.
They were playing I think we were all playing like it was the first time I played VR.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, the VR.
Pictionary.
thingies.
Did you play
The
Pictionary
VR
with us?
Pictionary,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
yeah.
Yes, because allowed me to infiltrate your club,
Oh,
your group.
I
So
couldn't
was like,
stop.
I'm
I could
rooting.
not stop. I could not stop the future Dr. Julianne Grasso from infiltrating the group.
I was just a grad student at that time.
So was I, if you remember.
Oh yeah.
That was like I said the other day. That was back when I had long hair or a long beard and short hair,
Yes.
and now backwards.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to get started
Yeah.
with these questions?
Let's do it.
All right. Hey, so the first question we have for you, and I'm reading them off my phone so she can't read them and get spoiled. But the first question we have for you, we want to start kind of like broad and then maybe get more specific.
All right.
So we're going to start with how does music contribute to building a narrative landscape or sense of place within a game?
Dude, do we have more than four more outlets? That is a big question.
We can
and a
keep
good
going.
one. And it's like kind of the question, like, how does music do world building, narrative building? It's kind of a question that drives not just me, but a lot of us who do any sort of music and media studies. Oh, did I do that?
Yes,
I did that.
You're fine. It's better now.
Hello. I don't know why I do that every time. Yeah, so like there's some research into video games. You had mentioned leitmotif, or maybe someone in chat had mentioned leitmotifs. So this idea, the leitmotif coming from like Wagnerian opera, essentially. It just really kind of refers to any sort of musical theme that develops and changes along with a character, along with a situation, or along with events. It could be kind of signifying anything. And draws from opera, but then gets incorporated into film and other media, like musical theater, things like this, and into video games. And so a lot of, I think, the early work and a lot of the what I first started looking at when I was an undergraduate, I think, was like, what are the themes doing in Final Fantasy VI? And what are the themes doing in Final Fantasy IV? And then I never played 5, so I only had those two. In the beginning. So, and sort of how are they developing? How are they reflecting the characters? These sorts of things. and from there, and so that research is kind of now being built out a lot better than like my undergrad stuff. I actually kind of switched myself to thinking about how music shapes the way that we play, the way that we respond to these spaces. So, to say, like, you know, if we have a town theme, a lot of people know what like a JRPG town theme is without really maybe even being able to describe it, but it tends to signify what is known in like music theory as the pastoral signifier, peacefulness and like cottagecore for the Gen Zs out there, you know, this sort of sense of like a nostalgic longing for a kind of rural sensibility, and that tends to be evidenced in these kind of pseudo medieval fantasy aesthetic games. So that's kind of a town theme. And also now it means not just town, but it means safe space in a lot of these games. So as well as shaping the way we're kind of perceiving a town, we're shaping the way that we understand that space as being, okay, I can relax. Maybe I can like go into the menus and maybe I can go buy things and restore, right? So music, so this is how I kind of think of differentiating like film, television music from interactive video game music, is how is it kind of interacting with the way that we want to interact, I suppose. Like, how is it gamey, not just like cinematic or something? Yeah, I mean, there's like so many different kind of ways to talk about that question, but I can circle back around to it maybe, so I don't ramble for 50 hours.
What is your favorite Final Fantasy VI leitmotif?
Oh my gosh. I can say the one that I love to show in like a classroom setting, or even just generally, is the themes of the characters Locke and Rachel.
Good, Locke and Rachel.
You're like,
great
correct.
pick. That would have been
Correct
my number
answer.
2. That would have been my number 2. But talk about Locke and
Number
Rachel, because this
two.
is such a good example.
I mean, so in the most kind of basic sense is that, you know, Locke is this kind of heroic character. He sort of positions himself as a kind of main character, like treasure hunter, but he's really a thief, like this whole thing. And he has this very kind of heroic, like kind of brassy or like big orchestra theme, as much as a SNES at least can kind of
Could do that.
Could do that, right? And it's kind of almost marchy and just like energetic. And it has basically 2 sections, like an A and a B section, melodically. And then Rachel's theme. So Rachel, you learn, is sort of like Locke's lost coma lover. So there's a very tragic scene that happens. And it's very, very sad. And her theme is playing, and it's just like the saddest thing that you've ever heard. And then like when you kind of, I never realized this when I was playing. It wasn't until I was like an undergrad being like, what are the themes doing? That I'm like, oh shit. That's why, whatever. Is that it's basically Locke's theme, but in a minor key.
Yeah.
And then it also shifts the B and the A sections. It's essentially, so it does a melodic shift and it does a modal shift. So, but it also uses a completely different instrumentation to make it sound like more calm, more intimate, slower. So it's different enough that you don't immediately go, oh, that's just a different version of Locke's theme, but you can see how they're intertwined, and see how they work with each other. Oh god, I loved those. I loved Rachel's theme and Locke's theme. I love both of them. What is your number 1 though?
And then it shows up for Celis when she's about to board the raft. Yeah.
Oh yes, because then Celis is like the other love interest.
Yeah.
So therefore that makes that motif become less Rachel specific and more Locke's love interest specific, and it really circulates that motif to Locke instead of the kind of individuality of the women. So whatever, misogyny, but it's coming back. That's
Where did it go?
It's always a little bit there. But I mean, Final Fantasy VI overall is such a woman forward game for its time.
Terra's a badass. I love her.
Terra's awesome. Yeah. So anyway,
you asked me what my leitmotif is.
Yeah. What is your number? Because you said that was number 2.
Yeah, I think the thing that blew my mind, like leitmotif wise in that game, it's like one of the first times I paid attention to like, oh shit, like it's like Star Wars or Peter and the Wolf, like the themes are coming back, you know? Is how the game opens with that little organ thing that's going to become Dancing Mad, but it takes you like 80 hours to figure out. Dun-na-na.
Basically, yeah.
It's like that's like the press start noise, right?
Yes.
And then the second you like start the final boss fight, it's like the first thing you hear, and you go, oh, you know what I
God.
mean? So they've been like setting that up for years, you know, for like 80 hours, how long it
Which
takes.
is sometimes years for people. When
Yeah,
you're, like,
I
like
think
a
it was years
little
for me
kid,
specifically. It
'cause
was
I
years
was
for
like
me.
really bad at that game. I was so little. I could barely read. Yes, Dancing Mad. I actually thought you were gonna mention maybe I was thinking of Dancing Mad. Dancing Mad brings in a lot of stuff. It brings in Kefka's theme.
Yeah, it does Kefka's theme in a major key, right?
Yes, and also in like a different meter.
Yeah.
And like Dana, I'm like pointing to the chat.
Hi, chat.
has written a really interesting dissertation chapter about. It does a lot.
It does a lot of things.
A dissertation chapter about like the concept of madness and like craziness and like how how Kefka's theme is mapping onto this, how the development of Kefka as a character and musically as a character is mapping onto this, you know, often quite problematic notion. It's a really good, like, you should read her dissertation. It's Dana Plank, PhD, The Ohio State.
Can I get it on? Can I get it on ProQuest?
Yes.
Cool.
I think so. Yeah, about it's like a sort of a disability studies approach to
Oh, cool.
video game music, and so like considering the sense of madness and the sort of the sort of crazy genocidal maniac, and like how can we unpack what that kind of means and what that looks like musically. Anyway, yes, it's free on Ohio Link.
Oh, hell yeah.
You don't need a ProQuest subscription from your institution.
Deathlorist is not in chat. I don't think she's out of class for another 30 minutes, but she's our librarian, and she will normally look up, normally post a link to it.
Gotta love a good librarian.
Musicologist, you've done it.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a rival. We got a rival.
Yeah, because sometimes, yeah.
Listen, I'm burned. I'm injured.
Oh, I understand. I
Literally.
understand. Shirley
I
can't
can
do
only
it.
hunt and peck with one hand. I was trying so hard to find a viable link.
What did you think I was gonna? What did you think my leitmotif was gonna be?
I think thought you were gonna talk about Dancing Mad and Kefka coming back. I think that's because that's what I was thinking secondly.
How does it
so
go
I was
like,
just
yeah.
like, oh, it might be your first one.
Yeah,
but-
basically.
Yeah. I mean, that's just another really interesting. There's so many different pairings. Setzer and Daryl are a pairing. Sabin and Edgar are pairing.
In the Sabin and Edgar flashback where they play like the Edgar
coin
theme
song.
but sad.
Yeah. Coin song. Like these are titled and you don't really realize them, but then you're like,
Yeah.
wait, that's actually the sad, slow version of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you get so much like character development and like kind of like the relationships between the characters are really shown through the themes in a richer sense than just the visuals and the dialogue, text, whatever.
Well, this goes into my second question for you, which is like, do you have a systematic approach for designing a syllabus for a video game music class?
So my systematic approach is, what did I do last time? Change the dates.
Real shit.
Mood.
Okay, so the first time, did you have a systematic approach?
The first time. So this is like, okay, syllabus design is always a big, huge question as well. And sort of one of the big questions is, do you kind of go sort of week by week, topic by topic? Like if you have a general big sense, like you're teaching a big topic, like analyzing video game music. Or do you kind of go like time periods? Like some people are like, we'll start with early music, which is like the 70s and 80s, right? The 1970s and 80s. Early music studies, so to speak. And then kind of go through time and show a kind of technological development. It's sort of like, how do you want to see the argument of your course or what you want to get out of the course to show through the development of the syllabus. And so I tend to kind of screw it up and not do like a combo of both of those so that everyone's just confused. I do start with kind of like considerations of technology and like early stuff, because I find that a lot of students want to start there. So over the course of teaching a video game music course, I guess 4 times now at different institutions, there's a real and I've taught it mostly to non-music majors, but now I've taught, I think, like half and half at this point. No matter what, they're really just like, so like, let's talk about these like 8-bit sounds. Like, I really want to understand them. And I start there, but then we get into these broader concerns that are more kind of topic. Like, I do like music and story, music and world, music and fans, music in games and outside of games. Like, it's usually music and something. And then I try to kind of point out that all of these things are really overlapping. Like, we might be focused on story, but story building is a part of world building as well. And like, is also like, fans build their own stories by making remixes and making like arrangements that have lyrics that speak to them, and so that's a story, kind of storytelling. So like lots of really cool things to explore through the different weeks. It sort of, again, depends on how many weeks I have. I used to teach on the quarter system, and that was ass. I hate that.
10 weeks?
10 weeks.
Yeah.
So just gotta go. And then, but I don't do... And I mainly make it like reflection and essay based. I find that a lot of students, I kind of do this in all of my classes though now, actually, but they have very, very personal relationships to video games, and I think everyone does to all music, so that's why I have reflections in all my classes. But personal relationships, and sometimes really fraught relationships, because sometimes I always get at least one student who's taking my elective video game class who's like, this is the only thing that fit in my schedule, and like, I actually don't really play video games, and I actually like am bad at them. And that makes me feel like I might be bad at this course. And I'm like, number one, you'll see how bad I am when I demonstrate anything. Yes, you Chicago. 2-ear 5.
Toe-ear.
Toe-ear.
Or maybe it's 2-ear. I don't know. I've been saying toe-ear for years.
Toe-ear. 2-ear.
I can't read.
I don't know. But yes, you Chicago.
That didn't help.
No, I think that's 2. That's 2, right?
2-ear?
2-ear.
I've been saying your name wrong for years.
2-ear.
Like
okay.
2.
Great.
Okay. Now I'm like so discombobulated. Okay, so students who feel like they're bad, like it's sort of indicative of the sense of like, to study something you have to be good at it. So to study, like, I don't know, music performance, do you have to be like good at performing? I mean, sometimes there's assumption, yes, and I think in like gaming, people assume like, I'm bad at games, therefore I cannot possibly enter into conversation about them in any sort of way. And I'm like, absolutely not. In fact, probably most of the people who self-selected into this course are probably good at games, probably good at music, in some way. But the folks that are bad at them, have never encountered some of these materials, whatever, are often have the most interesting things to say that can really change and shape the conversation and make us kind of question our assumptions about what we say. Like, if I say RPG, like, I have to maybe say role-playing game, and it's not rocket-propelled grenade, although sometimes it is. You have RPGs and RPGs. But things like, that's like a very superficial assumption, but... Other assumptions about, if I say, like, how I began by saying, we kind of know what town music is. No, probably not everybody, right? You kind of have to have a kind of genre knowledge to really know what that is. So,
I started hearing Pallet Town when you said that, but not everyone's going to hear Pallet
Town. I feel like that is, like, the source.
Yeah.
Very sort of source kind of town music, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like I would have been real excited if I saw that class, like, as a possibility when I was in undergrad.
Me too.
I mean, I love the idea of, like, taking class. I think more people should take classes outside their major, as long as it, like, fits within their budget, because it's, like, a great thing. I took a stage management class, and I was a creative writing major, and it was super cool.
Yeah.
And to your other point, I'm also bad at video games, and yet I do this thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, you mentioned like pastoral, like the leitmotif thing, and it's like, I didn't get it at first, but then as you explained it, I was sort of like, oh, kind of like Undertale, aka the one game I've played.
Some real Boss Baby 2 vibes in this movie,
Shirley. Absolutely. Like
a lot of Boss Baby, but yeah, because also like, I mean, there's tons of things people have written about Undertale's music specifically, so it might be like a good bad example. But like talking about my favorite theme from Undertale is the waterfall theme, which is the second section.
Mhm.
And it's like so atmospheric, but that's also like the section where you get the most like lore drops. So I think it fits in that mysterious, oh, there's a history here. Like this is where you kind of feel the ancientness of this place you've entered.
Mhm.
And so yeah, pretty cool.
I have to like, can we throw up Waterfall real fast? I don't remember it off the top of my head.
I have a screen
Top of my
prepared for
ears.
that. Give me one. Look away again. I don't want to spoil the last section.
Cover your eyes.
Okay, I have a screen. You're good. You're good. I have a screen ready for that. So let's go to Undertale Waterfall. It's
live react to a piece of music I have heard, but I'm forgetting.
Yeah, I mean that's why live
I
react.
think I know
was-
what it is, like, but
was
I
on
want to
the
make
schedule.
sure.
This is interesting. This whole like debate you're having is interesting because like the opposite thing often gets said in like the humanities. Like in folklore, it's like a lot of times if you do like field work in your own religion, some people are like, "Oh, you're really being subjective," but it's
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like you on the other hand, you're like
Me-search, as they call
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
me search.
Yeah, I've been accused of that before.
I don't
I'm
think
like,
it's a problem. It's
hell
like
yeah.
as someone who studies like I wrote my dissertation about food. Do you really expect like someone who never eats to do that research? Like, would you
Yeah.
trust my dissertation if I've never had a hot dog? If I'm writing a dissertation about hot
Did
dogs?
you write a dissertation about food?
Yeah, about hot dogs.
Can I read it now?
Yeah. Well,
Wait.
not in the middle of the interview, but yeah.
Like,
Do you have a
Trombone
framed
Champ is
copy
hot
to
dog
pull down?
centered.
Is it?
Yes. Have you not read the trading cards? They're all about hot dogs.
There's trading cards.
You need to add.
Trading cards?
Oh my god. Okay, when we come back to Trombone Champ, we're getting into the cards because they're very important and they're all about hot dogs. And you need to add this to your research. And
Can
I
do.
also need to read.
It was hot dog eating contest was my diss.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So summers on Coney
That's
Island.
such a thing. Oh my god. Yes. Okay.
All right, ready for this? Shirley, you can see too.
Are you
You
biased
following
because you
along?
eat to live?
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're exactly though. But exactly, it's what I'm
Thank you.
talking about
I
here.
think
Witch.
that's a really good.
Yeah. Are you biased because you have to eat to live?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, I'm deaf, so I'm allowed to study music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
What? That was 2 seconds.
Sorry. I just
It's very distinctive.
had to make sure it was this.
Yeah.
In my head.
So far, this is just Metroid.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very Metroidy. I mean, but all of this is like referential. Not like exactly referential, but like the vibes are there.
True.
And the even just the idea of the ambience and the reverb that is applied to all of these timbres gives a sense of how like both hollow and hallow, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tied into that.
Which
last
very
chat
fits-
question.
Which fits the area as well because it's a very like modeled after a cave. It's really the one area where you're kind of like highly aware of the fact that you're underground.
Yeah. You
The-
got like the kind of
tail
dripping
involved.
stalactite sound, like it's, you know. Wait, what'd you say?
And like you're like
What?
wading through swamps periodically. And so then like
Okay, now I
ancientness,
remember
because
this.
like yeah, like with the echo
perfect
flowers,
fits.
and you find all the lore and like the history, and the angel.
Now I remember that. Okay, but that was exactly all the things you were talking about. This is a good illustration.
Yeah, no, that's really good. And yeah, it has a lot of we get a lot of that sense of ancientness from some of the timbres, but also the sense like the kind of parallel fifths, which it doesn't sound like Gregorian chant exactly, but it gives a sense of that's often like a kind of signifier of oldness. Like
Yeah.
like a particular parallel fifths. Like there's parallel fifths in like rock music too, and that's not going to give us
Well, there's parallel fifths
necessarily-
in like metal, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah.
I'm speaking like that's really kind of what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Like power chords and stuff like this, but this is also the kind of slow and heaviness of it too. So like all of these
Exactly.
things are sort of playing this role, this kind of generic role. This reminds me because I get a lot of students who I'll say like reflect on what makes this music sound the way you think it was or whatever. And they'll pick like one musical parameter and they'll be like, because it's has a perfect fourth in it. And that's why it sounds heroic, because it like leaps a fourth.
The perfect fourth is like the Star Wars
Bum,
interval, right?
Yeah. Fourths and fifths, they're inverted. Like it's like, you know, the beginning of lots of things. And I don't blame them, because there's like literally think pieces online that are like, the key to all of John Williams' heroic music is the fourth and the fifth, right?
I'm sorry I brought that up.
And then, well, but then like Locke and Rachel's theme is an example where you have fourths and fifths being used in that heroic sense, like bum 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 bum. So it has these fourths and fifths. But then when it's used for Rachel, it's like, and so
I don't know if any of that picked up.
There
we go.
You gotta have the funja phase. Sorry, that was super Italian. The sad face, yeah.
The what face?
Funja face.
Funja.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like Sicilian or
It might
something.
be.
Like really, like.
Are you Sicilian?
Dark? Yeah.
Okay.
Dark witch Italian.
Neapolitan stuff.
Yeah.
You're
close
weird.
enough.
No, I'm your weird like hick cousin. You know.
I mean, no one likes Sicilians. All right.
My dad, because my stepmom is Sicilian.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. I mean, respect. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so like Rachel's theme uses the same intervals, but is clearly sad, clearly about loss and grief, right? And so I'm always reminding them, like, you know, it's other things, not just this one musical parameter. To have diminished. Are we talking about the Christmas chord?
I think Chad is popping off about Christmas chord.
Oh yeah. I'm reading. Oh my god. I mean, that's like a little bit more legit, but it's not legit. It's not. I'm trying not to be mean. Okay.
No, you're good. So actually, I have a question about RPGs.
Yes.
As long as we're talking about
role-playing
RPG
games?
music. Yeah.
Okay.
Rocket propelled grenades.
Yeah,
No, role playing games.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is really, it's a question about RPGs, but it's really a question about music and memory.
Ooh.
And I guess I want to know, in what ways has the first RPG you played, Final Fantasy II, become like a touchstone of like music and memory for you?
Oh shit. Well, just me saying, okay, I'll be closer to the mic so I can see my curse words really clear.
Yeah, good.
So Final Fantasy II, so to clarify, it's Final Fantasy IV, but it was released in the US as Final Fantasy II.
It's Final Fantasy 2-4.
Yeah, 2-4.
Like 3-6, okay.
Yeah. So I played that on the Super Nintendo, and it was one of my first video games that wasn't like just a sort of one-off Mario or Duck Hunt or something like this, right? So
It's your first video game with save states.
Yeah, because I didn't play any of the Zeldas yet. I played Zeldas after that. And a story, right? Like that's beyond just like your princess is in another castle.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot, man, music and memory, a lot of what kind of triggers for anybody, not just me, and any sort of music, is like the kind of particular exact sound that you heard. Like I'll hear a remix, like an arrangement of something from Final Fantasy IV, and it will be cool, but it won't kind of hit the same as those exact timbres of that 16-bit music, the 8 channels. Like it's also like weirdly sharp. The samples are weirdly sharp, like in compared to like our standard tuning, like stuff like this, like really specific stuff that like if I hear that really draws me back. And it's really because like a lot of video games, especially before I would say into the PS2, 3, well, like the modern era, where everything's kind of like beautiful recordings and stuff is still like sort of synthesized and samples and stuff like this, but it's not necessarily it still sounds pretty real in terms of an orchestra. Of course we get like kind of interesting fantasy sounds and things that are not like an orchestra, but I guess I'm talking about the things that were trying to sound like an orchestra. So the sort of 8-bit like beeps, things that were called beeps and boops, and then like the kind of 16-bit era into the 32-bit era, where you're still having these sort of crude samples. And I mean, these were like 5-year time periods where this was like a thing, and then it would move on. And at the time,
from 8 to 16 to 32.
yeah, and it was fast. I remember like getting the N64 and being like nothing will be the same. And then Final Fantasy VIII, nothing will be the same, right? Like things can't be better than this. This is how I was experiencing it. And so the idea, so to just make this not so rambly, the musical memory is tied to a very specific time of playing and of an era that until actually pretty recently felt pretty lost. Like there was this sense, I remember this like panic. Nothing was the same. Thank you.
Truly.
Yes, Tom. The Red Wings. Yeah, no, for real. The Red Wings theme, how it opens up Final Fantasy 2, like that, I'm like, boom, I am back to like learning how to read and being in my family's basement and not locked up. It's just like where we had all the games and stuff. It was a finished basement. I promise. Anyway, yay, Kathleen's back. Yay. We're just talking about memories, and we're just talking about you, how I met you. No, but we'll talk about Kathleen later.
Memories. Alone in the moonlight.
Surrounded by cats.
There's a moon in Final Fantasy IV. It's great. But, so anyway, there was a sense until pretty recently that like these games are lost to time because we don't care about them. And I think like when I was first interested in researching games like in 2007 or something, that was like this big panic era I felt of people being like, we need to start like a conservationist effort. I think there was like, that was sort of the rise of like the Smithsonian had a video, like they had a video game, what's it?
Archive,
like they developed an archive and exhibit. The Strong Museum of Play sort of came about. And then of course MAGFest like has these giant rooms full of old systems to kind of relive some of this old technology, and like in a way that some also like I love like the old PC rooms as well, because that stuff I actually never experienced.
Me neither. Yeah.
So I'm like, what is this? Like it's a very exploratory and kind of wondrous in this way.
And the cool kids hogged like Oregon Trail, so I never even played like the Apple II or whatever.
Yes, Rydia best girl, absolutely. 100%. Anyway, so the sense of like a kind of lost past that no longer really exists. Like we can access all of this, and Square Enix really has been like, oh, we're gonna re-release all of our music and we're gonna actually make you pay money for it instead of like whatever the hell you guys are doing.
No.
They have the theater rhythm games, which use kind of the original sounds of the games, and like they're like relive all your memories, and it's all about fan memories. So I wrote a chapter actually about the theater rhythm games. A new one just came out, and I really want it, but I'm waiting to finish a chapter before I buy it for myself. But
sure.
The whole all of the it's each theater rhythm game. There's a 25th anniversary, a 30th anniversary, and a 35th anniversary now. So they've anniversarized these games, which so plays into, it's like they know that like music and memories are really key. Like memory is a key part. Sorry, music is a key part to these games. It's not just generally the game, like art, like other like visual art and things like this. They're like, we're gonna make it a rhythm game. We're gonna really monetize these people's memories. I have not played Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
We might live react to some music from that. Near the end of this.
Okay.
Because every time you do a side quest, you get a music video.
Oh.
Yeah, it's real. It is a great, actually right up your alley.
Oh my god. Okay. Yes. So that's a really long way to answer music and memory question, but there's so much there. I mean, there's like actual kind of like psychology research about the way that music kind of reactivates pathways in the brain related to like specific memories, in ways that like, you know, smell is also like very like literally closely tied to those pathways, which is why like certain smells will just bring you right back somewhere. But music also does this. All sorts of things do, but there's something about music, and I think it's some of the way that it's temporal, and so it's sort of you're rehearsing through the temporality of music, like the experience of being in a temporal way, in a different temporal sense. Yeah.
So isn't it also like with memory and stuff, like things that are like have a rhythm to it or like are set to music are easier to memorize in general.
Also, yeah, yes, like literally,
sort of like as mimetic ideas, and so it like automatic. You're just sort of like creating a mimetic to that time in your childhood, almost unconsciously.
Yeah, no, I think there's absolutely
I think
something
that's
to that. I
fascinating.
think it's like often like the same sort of psychological resources being used in something that you can kind of. It's sort of sort of call it entrainment when you sort of entrain to a beat, like physically, and so like there's sort of like an idea that
rhythm game
entrainment. Yes. So sorry. So like entrainment, whether to a beat, to someone else's beat, like with someone else's dancing, you can kind of sync with them. The sort of synchrony can be kind of expanded into other forms of synchrony, like synchronizing to like a mood, synchronizing to other things that can be kind of like channeled through the music. Like I don't know. I might be just going off.
You're
that's
actually
really cool.
you're actually setting me up perfectly for the next question.
Okay.
Which is what made you want to make the switch from neuroscience to music?
Which is like, it's funny that Tom is here because Tom is like, we were both like neuroscience folks for a while.
Yeah.
And he's he's like a real neuroscientist now. Like he has
As opposed to you, the fake neuroscientist?
No, like he has a job doing he's like literally solving like brain issue, like Alzheimer's. Like that's his day job. And my day job is going, I feel like rhythm does this, and that's it. That's it. That's all I do. So
it's good work you didn't get it. I don't know what to tell you.
So
I mean, that's how they test to make sure they didn't mess up any of the gray bits when they're digging in there.
The gray bits.
Gray bits. So the reason, so I did a minor in neuroscience, and I was like a little bit thinking doing a PhD in neuro, but I got swept away, bamboozled maybe by like I thought that I hated writing essays, and it was I still kind of hate writing essays, but like at Princeton they made everybody had to write a junior paper and a senior thesis. Like it wasn't honors, it was everyone had to do it no matter your major. And I was like, I don't want to do this at all, but I have to. And so I was like, I'm just going to write about something I totally love, and like not that many people have written on it, so I don't have to read other people's stuff. I can just write and be done. And like which is really kind of like the core of really research and writing is your own dumb ideas, like putting them on the paper. Of course, I do more reading now. And I was like, wow, actually, and like I unfortunately, I suppose, was so supported by my faculty.
Unfortunately.
Fortunately, I had a great support system that led me down this beautiful path.
Nope.
You should go to grad school. You should explore this, because like there's like 3 people doing this right now, and they're not even doing it the same way you're doing it, and you're you can really like make this a thing and like build this field out. And I'm like, okay. And there's so many. Yeah, we were nearly the same person. Like when I met Kathleen, I was like,
yeah,
is this a mirror?
We might have asked a similar question in her interview too. It's funny.
Rip to all of us who were encouraged to go to grad school. I mean, you still need to go to grad school for like a PhD in neuroscience. Like that was still sort of a thing, but then I kind of don't know. I think there was always a possibility, even when I started grad school in music theory. I almost went to Northwestern, who has a music cognition PhD, and I went to UChicago thinking, oh, Northwestern's right over there. Like, it's not. So Northwestern is like literally, it's on the it's in a northern suburb of Chicago. UChicago is the south side, and to get between them is like 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I didn't even by car or by train, like both of them.
Oh God, those toll roads.
By bike, anything. It's just like so much. So I went to Northwestern a grand total of once, which was to give a talk at the very end of my thing. Hey, a UChicagoan.
Oh wow, that's a
2-5.
couple of UChicagoans in chat.
Oh my goodness, go away.
I almost went to UChicago.
Yeah,
I thought about it real hard.
I did go.
Chat, post your favorite scav memory in chat.
my god, scav. Because I only went as a grad student.
Yeah.
So that was such an undergrady thing.
Yeah, it's like
and
Little
the rest
500
of us
at
were like,
Indiana.
what the hell
Yeah.
is this?
we used to bring bingo sheets to Little 500 and just watch the undergrads doing their party tradition. Just be like, oh, I got another one here. I'm gonna have to talk to someone for bingo though.
It was so special. And now I am at a party school. It's just it's very interesting. Although no one at the School of Music or the College of Music, I guess.
College
they call
of
it,
Music.
Sorry.
Yeah.
School of Music was
What
UT
would Patty
Austin.
think?
Oh shit. It's everyone's so busy with their their instrument and performances and music ed stuff that no one is going. Maybe they're partying. I don't know. I live really far from campus. The squirrels are prettier than the girls and more aggressive than the guys. I remember that. I think there were quite a few of those T-shirts.
I always heard where fun goes to die.
Where fun goes to die.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember thinking the grad students were having a lot more fun than the undergrads. We're nerds.
Except for Scav. Yeah.
Except for Scav. And that was oh my god, let them have this. I just
They
need
need
to
this
get
so
away.
bad.
They need to shower.
I need this so bad.
They need this so bad. Anyway.
I was a commuter in undergrad, so I missed out on all the cool undergrad shenanigans.
I don't know. There's a lot of toxic, terrible undergrad shenanigans generally too. So
That is true.
blessings and curses, perhaps.
Last kind of. Oh my God, Tommy! Thank you for the sub for Tired Grad Student. Hello, thank you.
Thank you.
T Papas 56 back once again. Good to see you. Thanks for that sub.
Eddie.
I got one last kind of serious question before we get into the funsy stuff.
Funsy stuff.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess
Scav.
I guess the last one is, we've got a lot of people who are either in the chat right now or who are going to be watching this on YouTube after this airs that are either... There are a lot of people who might be a fan of yours from your appearances on Twitch, but there might be some people who are here on the Folkwise and, academic folklore side of thing, who are always looking for a new channel to learn with. So pitch bardic knowledge to a chat that might be interested in music and vernacular culture or something like that.
Oh man, this is an interview question where they're do your research, but do it to someone who doesn't know it.
We've been here for 45 minutes and I finally got to the first interview question, huh?
No, I mean sorry. like a job interview
Oh,
question.
yeah. A little bit.
A little bit. Dana, thank you. So, Bardic Knowledge, it's me, Dana Plank, who is musicologist here.
Hell yeah.
Karen Cook and Ryan Thompson, who sort of runs the show, is every Thursday at 9 to 12. What? No, 9 to 11. See, I'm thinking I'm doing this time switch thing, Eastern time. We basically just play a game. Sometimes we play a long game over the course of several weeks. Sometimes we play some one-off games, and we sort of live react to the music. Sometimes we're not live reacting. We actually sort of prepare, and we're here's a
counts.
Dana makes a lot of really interesting transcriptions, and by interesting, I don't mean that in a bad way. It's really
interesting.
And I mean that she, for instance, does transcriptions that are faithful to, say, the sound channel, what's coming out of SBC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then more faithful to an orchestral score reading kind of thing, showing transcriptions, doing a little bit of music theory, a little bit of just how does this music sound? How does this music make us feel, and things like that. A lot of times we're just kind of chatting academia in general, chatting about to ourselves. We have a kind of a few people that sort of show up, similar to this kind of channel. And kind of just vibing and trying. What we're trying to do is create a really welcoming space that's not we're not heavy music theory. We're not digging. Sometimes we are, but we're not heavy academic. We're trying to be sort of academics that are just chatting about music, having a good time. And we sort of want folks who might be academic, might not be academic, who might be different sorts of academics, or into games, into music, all sorts of folks who just want to stop by and be welcomed, and we want to hear from you. We love interacting with the chat and hearing different sorts of takes on all sorts of things. So we're really, if you open up the Hepikoski Darcy Bible to pay, I'm more of a Kaplanian than a Hepikoski Darcian, so I must say that right now. But we don't go there, so like I won't even make random noises.
So what does that mean?
Yeah, exactly. So we don't. I mean, sometimes we do, but we try to make that like more legible, and usually we're just having fun with like theory stuff, right? I'm the only like card carrying music theorist, although I call Dana a music theorist all the time, and I call everyone a music theorist. They're more trained in music history. And Ryan was trained in musicology, but actually teaches at like a communications department.
Oh, okay.
Karen does a lot of medievalism and medievalist studies. Like that's her other thing that's like super, super duper interesting. So she brings this really rich old historical perspective. Dana, as I said, does a lot of disability studies and all sorts of things. And I kind of just sit there and dance and like wine with an H and wine without an H. So yeah, that's kind of what we do. Again, twitch.tv/bardic knowledge. Thursdays. What are we doing this Thursday? I think
it's in a couple days. You tell me.
Dana, what are we doing? We just finished Zelda Oracle of Ages. Through
Cool.
The old Zeldas. And we're doing theater rhythm. Perfect.
Oh, perfect.
Yes, because I remember being like, I haven't played it yet, but I really want to. We're gonna do. Thank you for. No, that's not how you spell it.
Is that not how you spell it?
I'm
specialized.
Your knowledge. No, it was cool hearing you. It was cool hearing you describe
go.
that. There you go.
Yeah.
It was cool hearing you describe all that because it was kind of like I don't know, like everything everywhere all at once, where it's just like, well, if you said like folklore instead of music for every time in that rant, it would be the same thing.
I like it's the same exact vibe. With just like a different frame, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm glad the collab finally happened.
Yeah. Local.
You want to get into some
crossover ep?
This is a crossover ep, absolutely.
Whoa.
I mean, like, is every time we have a guest on is technically a crossover ep, but this is like when was the last time we had like another like
gamey?
Well, I was gonna say like
academic.
streamer,
Twitch person,
Twitcher,
yeah.
Kathleen, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a slight follow-up question to a topic from earlier, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
So, talking about like the nostalgia of music and like the music archive in the Smithsonian stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it came up in discussion a few streams ago, like the idea that 8-bit games made now are like imitating a nostalgia for a style that never existed because of like how the old CRT screens worked.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find any like old school music that kind of ends up in the same way, like because of how the sound system in older consoles worked, will they just never sound the same with modern sound systems?
Yes. Short answer, yes. There's a lot of like sort of retro games are, and a lot of times the creators are doing this kind of on purpose. They sort of know that it can't sound exactly like the old technology, right? But so they're playing with it. They're adding. I like to show my students. Oh, what is the game? Oh, it's VVVVVV. Or is it 7? VVVVV. I think it's the letter V 6 times. It's a game that it sounds 8-bit, looks 8-bit, but if you kind of listen to it, it's quite modern if you look at it and listen to it. So it looks like the old technology for a little bit, but it's modern, right? And so my students I always do like a guessing game of like listen to this music and see if you can guess a year, like I don't know, just guess a random year, guess a system, and you'll get most of the students being like, okay, this is definitely old. And then you'll get other students who are listening maybe a little bit closer and realizing that the loop point is really long. Like it's not like a 10-second loop, right? Or there's definitely more than 5 channels of sound. There's effects that are really cool. So subtly and beautifully done that like maybe couldn't have really been done on those original systems. And they're like, oh wait, this is a kind of a nod to that. And so, but that is all to say, there's also like a lot of chiptune artists that are using that old technology, like literally the old hardware, and working with it and maybe like modding it a little bit or doing all sorts of things with it, but really trying to harness those old constraints in newly creative ways. That's cool. So there's a little bit of a both and thing kind of going on. Yeah.
You want a lightning round, some funsy questions?
Yeah, I don't know how to lightning round anything. I talk for 20 minutes for every question, but let's do it.
I say that as like a joke, but okay, let's go for it.
I'm excited for one of these.
Okay.
Okay, I can see what you highlighted. What's the best console?
I hate you.
Okay, there it is. Second question. That was
Nintendo.
Okay, this was the first no thank you sleuths we've ever gotten.
Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
You know what's this? Fuck you.
Fuck you, sleuths.
Fuck you.
I was so nice to them.
Clip that.
I hate this.
Super Nintendo?
Yeah, let's just do that.
Cool.
I'm already rethinking it. Just go.
So here's a question I brought up, or that we wrote in this that actually you kind of got a related question in chat that we said we were going to save for your interview.
Yeah.
So I'll ask the chat question first. Mirani's not in chat asked, what are some of your favorite MAGFest stories?
Oh, the MAGFest stories. Well, one of the MAGFests was some of us streamer people and some other folks were presenting on like what is ludomusicology.
It's like 19, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I wasn't because I was at a wedding that weekend, so that was
yeah?
the MAGFest I watched every.
Oh, you watched all the
recording.
YouTubes? Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's awesome. Yeah, so we were there, and we noted because we were all academics, all like institutionalized, as I say. We were all at academic institutions, and we go to regular academic conferences.
That's what that means.
I mean, right? Yeah, right. Okay, we all go to conferences and we present our work all the time. And by far, this crowd, it must have been like 5 times the size of any conference.
Was that when did that take place? Was that like one of those 1 a.m. panels or something?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
Still,
it was like a regular ass time.
Damn, you got a regular ass time for like a panel?
A regular time.
Damn, living the life.
And we're like on this stage, and there's like hundreds of I don't have I
think hundreds, probably 350.
Probably like hundreds of people there.
Yeah.
And we were like, this is by far the most outreach that we're gonna get with this
work.
Yeah. And it's awesome. It was so awesome. And I actually used that moment in my that later that year I presented at the big national conference, which is like for us is supposed to be the biggest thing we do. And in the first sentence I bragged about how many more people I presented this to MAGFest.
Hell yeah!
I was like, thank you all for being here, but like, look at this.
I think I have played Breath of the Wild for more people in chat than like most talks I've given at conferences, you know?
And so like I know this is not like a fun story. This is more of like but it really sort of opened my eyes to being like, okay, like this, I mean, we had been doing the Twitch a little bit, but I'm like, yes, so there's this like sense of public outreach. There's this sense of maybe outreach is kind of a weird word, but just like a public presentation of your research in this kind of accessible way in these other venues that maybe isn't as valued by the academy, but probably should be, and probably is actually more meaningful in a lot of ways than this kind of CV line. So that was like a really, really wonderful moment. I was like, man, I feel like a famous person.
Preaching to the choir.
And I remember I also told the crowd at MAGFest, I'm like, if you do go into ludomusicology or any musicology, you will not have this many people at your talk unless you go to MAGFest. And
yeah.
Ouroboros of whatever. But so that was a particularly special moment. I mean, I loved MAGFest. The first year I went was 2018, and I just I didn't know anything about it. And I think Kathleen kind of helped shepherd me around.
She's good for that.
Taking my notes. And I just was in shock and delight at the music that was happening at every corner, like literally every corner. Like it wasn't just, and of course it wasn't just music, it was gaming, it was like the sort of museumification, like museum aspects, the like archival materials, gaming, all sorts of types, and all sorts of technologies. There's parties, there's the cosplaying, like the formal concerts and then the kind of jam bands and these different spaces that were happening. And I remember moving about the space being like, and there's music everywhere.
Yeah.
And so it's less about going to a conference and sitting there and like kind of formally listening to music or learning about music, and more about experiencing these spaces of fandom and love and like wonderful delight of that people have for these games and this music with each other in this interesting like spatial exploration kind of way. Like it was sort of like I'm moving through this, I was like making my notes of like, so I'm moving through this hallway and I'm hearing this over here, and that's like, oh, it's the Chrono Trigger like frogs theme, oh my god, I love that. I'm like running over there, and then I hear another thing, and then there's Kirby is over there. And
that was the Kirby year.
Yeah. So, and like that's just not something that you get at a music conference that I feel like is a really valuable and wonderful way to understand musical experiences, is like through the experience itself and through that kind of experiences of communities coming together in that way. So yeah, not to be so academic about it, but I can't help it. I am an academic.
You are. That's just how you talk. So, question that came up in chat while you were doing that. What was your favorite concert you ever saw at MAG?
Ooh, well, a lot of it was I was floating around to different things, and the concert that, who was it? Oh, it was like one of the metal bands.
In 18?
It was 18. It was in the big room.
Metal bands in 18.
And it had a female vocalist, or at least a female presenting vocalist.
Damn.
I'm not sure.
Oh, no.
Anyway,
I was going to say Power Glove and Knights of the Round, but that's not what you're describing.
I don't think
Descendants of Erdrick?
It might have been.
With Amanda Lepre?
It probably was.
Yeah, I think that's it.
It's probably what it was, and I was just like, it was also like, this was before the pandemic, and I still was like so in my like grad student zone that I wasn't like going to a lot of concerts
Festivals.
That weren't like orchestra, you know? And like I just like being in that space, like, and like it was just so good. And like I've done the thing where like the past few MAGFests I haven't gone to, so I'm like, I'm gonna go look at the concerts on YouTube. And, like, I just get sad because, like, oh, man, I just know the energy in that space was so cool.
Yeah.
It's so different than, like, watching, like, clicking play on YouTube. And so, I'm sorry that I can't, like, very specifically remember it. But I just remember being, it was just, like, super duper. It was just super duper fun. And there was also, like, a chiptune corner.
The chiptune rave.
So,
hell yeah.
And that was just, like, I just stopped there for, like, a long time and sort of lost my sense of time. Just, like, vibing. Man, it was, like, the big concerts and the, like, little tiny pop-up ad hoc things that were happening were so...
The pop-up raves and everything.
So cool. Oh, Samus was there. Yes!
Samus is so good.
Samus, that was the first time I saw Samus, was I think at the 2018.
Same. 18? I think it was the first...
And I think it was the same...
I think I've seen Samus in 18 and 20. Yeah.
And we were there. And I remember, I was like standing next to Kathleen, and probably you were there too.
I must have been there.
Probably like just standing there, and I'm like,
if it was Samus, I might have been like full Zangiefed out. I might have had my mohawk. Yeah.
No, Samus was unbelievable, and like I had never heard anyone who was rapping from also like a gamer, music, and academic perspective.
Yeah.
And like it was like 30-year-old woman perspective too. So I was like, yes! I was like so awesome. She's great.
She fucking rules.
She's so good. Oh yeah, thank you for jogging my memory, man.
Well, you ready for the question we were gonna ask before chat gave us these preludes?
The other question, yeah.
What do you have a favorite esoteric MAGFest tradition?
Well, I don't know because I've only been twice, so I don't know what's a esoteric MAGFest tradition really. I don't have like a frame of reference.
So you can say Colossus Roar, I guess.
Well, yeah, I don't like what.
Colossus Roar.
What is Colossus Roar?
I'm not gonna do it on stream, am I?
Do I know?
By esoteric, do you mean like just like you would really only find it at MAGFest?
Yeah, exactly.
Or...
Yeah,
okay.
That's exactly what I mean. Okay, I'm gonna back away from the.
I'm not a real MAGFester. I'm so sorry.
You know what this is. We're one person on the other end. Chat's doing it in chat. You see that?
Yeah.
One person on the other end of the hotel goes, and and like someone else hears it. It's like the audio version of the wave.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Look at Chad doing all different ways
I
of spelling
remember
the
this now.
Colossus
I remember
roar.
this now. Well, isn't this beautiful?
You
It really
like
is.
when you started the roar, you like peeked the mic and it cut out.
Did Chad hear it? Did Chad hear it? Or is that just a Discord thing?
It was like, "Rrr,"
Well,
and then it was like I could see you still doing it, but I was gone.
As if to tell you that the Colossus roar. Yeah, I think Chat heard it, but the Colossus roar is something to be seen, to be heard. Yeah. The Black Mages played, and
that's
Nobuo
so
Uematsu
cool.
roared back.
Okay, that is great.
I was gonna say my favorite probable MAGFest tradition are the shrines. Like, you ever seen a shrine appear? Like, if
No.
people leave their trash for Danny DeVito. Or
Oh, that's beautiful.
there was one year there was a shrine to Imhotep from The Mummy, and this past year Brendan Fraser got his own shrine, and so it's kind of like the evolution of that. You know what I mean? Yeah, there was okay.
One time there was a shrine to the Baja Blast God on top of our fire alarm in my apartment.
You could
It was very
probably. I would be surprised if the Baja Blast God did not have like a corner of the Danny DeVito shrine. To be honest, they had to tell the Danny DeVito shrine people you can't leave a case of eggs, because it's like a perfectly fine case of eggs I found under the bridge. People were buying eggs and leaving them in the hallway for Danny DeVito.
Like an egg in this trying time.
And so the headliners this year were Cybertronic Spree, like the Transformers band, and they like they led the crowd like a chant of Danny DeVito. Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, that
love
is
that
true,
stuff.
Starps. That was Jen's wedding when that panel took place.
And it inspired another paper I wrote, because there was like a bunch of panels about like music theory and video games, and I was like, who are all these folks doing these things? And it was mostly YouTubers. Yes.
Yeah.
It was like YouTubers, and I was like, oh, there's this whole YouTube community, and then I like wrote about them, and then yeah. So it was very. I saw
a big music theories panel this past year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he talked about the melee music.
8-bait.
8-bait? 8-bait? He's Canadian, so that's how you say that.
Is it?
Yeah.
8-boot. Yeah.
8-bait.
Okay, he does sound Canadian. That
yeah, he
makes
totally
sense.
is. He's from. I think he's from like the prairies. I think he's from out west. Okay. Next question.
8-boot.
What is the best antique shop in Mullica Hill, New Jersey?
Oh my god.
Are the sleuths on better terms with you now? Do you forgive the sleuths?
My hometown.
You've forgiven them their transgressions.
I don't know. This is my hometown of Mullica Hill, New Jersey. Is known as an antiquing place. And unfortunately, what I think is the best no longer exists.
Ah, rip!
Is that there's this little storefront called the Yellow Brick Road, and it literally had a yellow brick road that went to the back, and and it was all sort of like antique dolls, and like people think that's creepy, but I was a doll kid. I was a video games kid and a dollies kid.
Hell yeah!
Like I was like
Preach.
very like two weird worlds.
Are you telling me Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, where the dolls of society howl?
Yes.
Okay. I think that's how the song goes.
That's how it goes.
Okay.
Oh my god, the old mill. Oh yeah, I forgot Tom. There would be someone else from Mullica Hill. Well, near Mullica Hill.
Yeah.
The old mill used to have also like the rental store was in there too. So I never went to the old mill. I don't know what the heck was in there. Tom, you can I was not a horse girl. I was scared of horses. And also a little scared of horse girls, because they were like the confident, cool girls, and I was like, ugh.
Shout out horse girls. Let me see the ponies in chat. Ponies in chat, horse girls. We have as you could probably tell from a folklore stream, we have a strong. It's ponies.
Horse girl contingent. Ponies.
We have a strong horse girl contingent.
Horse girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was not a horse.
I don't know if any of the horse girl mafia is watching tonight, but there is a game.
I'm still afraid of them.
You
You
do exclamation point ponies, and they do the 4-H pledge.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we have a strong horse girl contingent.
Yeah, I lived next to the 4-H, so I think that was part of it. Was like there was always this like scary place across the hedgerow that we had. Yeah, so the Yellow Brick Road, rest in peace. That was my favorite little place to buy some antique dolls. I never bought antique dolls. My mom wouldn't let me, but you could kind of explore around. Now there's like, I don't know, like some dumb coffee shop there. Like a stupid one. I don't know. Maybe Tom can weigh in.
Shirley, do you want to ask the last fun question?
Oh, I'm so excited for this last question.
All right.
So defend American cheese right now.
Wait, what?
Defend American cheese right now. The timer is on.
American cheese is one of the it's a great sandwich and particularly burger cheese because it melts evenly and doesn't like kind of break apart.
That's right.
It is if you kind of get not the Kraft singles but like deli sort of thin sliced American cheese. It has actually like a
Publix singles that aren't individually wrapped.
Yes.
Sort
of like this perfect mild flavor that kind of is an every sandwich cheese. So like, and you can sort of put it on anything. It is versatile. It is delicious. Yes, it's very mild and whatever, but it is also good for many things, and I will not take any more slander on American cheese.
Starps brings up an interesting point in chat. Are you pork roll or Taylor ham? What part of New Jersey are you from?
I think I'm supposed to be...
Oh,
nice!
Thank you for the
Destroy
follow,
John.
Destroy John.
I think I'm supposed to be pork roll. I think I'm supposed to be pork roll, but I was more the Philly sort of cheesesteaks and hoagies.
Oh, okay.
Kind of thing. So I don't know if I've really had a true pork roll situation.
But I do like Kraft cheese and an egg and ramen.
I mean, honestly,
I think like one of my favorite foods is budae jjigae.
Yeah.
And the Kraft, like the American cheese on top makes sense.
That. Yeah, it has to be that. You can't have like
egg and
cheeses.
ramen and cheese and ramen. I could feel that. Follow up to American cheese. Then if so, then why does it make my head hurt?
Your head?
The sleuths did not write that question. The sleuths did not write that question. I don't know what they're doing here.
It gives you a headache, like to eat the cheese, like it.
Why does cheese give me a headache?
American cheese or cheese in general?
American cheese.
American cheese? It's probably the sodium, especially if it's like a Kraft single, right? It's probably like heavy sodium, I guess. I don't know. Man, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Try some like nice thin sliced deli cheese from the deli when you have to like talk to a person.
I didn't realize they made other kinds of American cheese,
yes,
so
do.
like mind blown to be quite honest.
There's a lot of nuance.
So next
come to Florida, I'll get you a pub sub.
Yeah, pub sub.
Next time I stumble into a Publix, I'll have to
cheese ball rolled up
hunt.
Doritos. Hell yeah.
I mean, when I was a child, I would. My favorite afternoon snack was taking a slice of American cheese and rolling it up in an uncooked hot dog and then just eating it.
Uncooked.
That's why you have a headache. You like blew out your neurons that taste.
And that's neuroscience.
Neuroscience.
And then basically after I hit puberty, it's like every time I ate American cheese, my head hurt.
Wow.
I don't know.
That's an amazing. Wow.
Okay.
I'm probably slightly allergic to some preservative in it. That's what I figure, but that was
sense. Okay, before we get into that VR question, you've been in Florida for 3 years and never had a pub sub. It is so worth it. Or like especially chicken tender pub sub. Toss it. Your favorite sauce.
The best one. Yeah.
Chicken tender.
I haven't had it yet.
Chicken tender pub sub is like the best sandwich.
I'm gonna have to. I subscribe to a Twitter account that's like, is the chicken tender pub sub on sale or something?
You can't compare to Wawa, and that's why I don't think you can compare. Okay, Wawa's an institution, and I used to live in the Eastern Shore of Maryland, and I fuck with the Gobbler like crazy. You know what I mean? That is when it is the holidays. And there's a Wawa in Orlando that I stop at whenever.
Yeah.
Or a Wawa in Gainesville that I stop at every time.
They're bringing
every
one to
time I go
Tallahassee.
Oh, it's gonna be Gobbler season. That being said. The chicken tender pub sub is like the South's answer to Wawa. It's like I'm serious.
I'm very excited to try it.
Yeah.
It's also something that like I don't think Wawa has a version of that, so it's like also a very particular kind of sandwich. Also, yeah, sub is different than a hoagie, obviously. So there's that.
Yeah. Fuck with the pub sub.
Publix,
no, tell the
yeah.
chat your favorite VR game.
My favorite VR game? I
Yeah.
haven't played that many.
Several people want to know your favorite VR
Why?
game.
I don't know if I can. I've played like 3 VR games, and probably Beat Saber is the one that I would come back to.
Is Beat Saber not the trombone champ of VR?
It's a little less like hysterically funny.
Well, that's
I think.
This
It's
VR shit is
game,
serious
right?
business.
It's a rhythm game. I just feel like
It's a rhythm game, but it's like very moddable.
It doesn't make me sick like other VR games, though.
It's true.
Oh, I actually really like
But
Tetris Effect as well, but I also play that not VR most of the time.
Could you theoretically mod Beat Saber into Trombone Champ?
Yeah, I bet
Like,
you could.
Are the things trombones?
Yeah, no, all the
I guess,
blocks
like,
are like
sabers.
lines, you know? That's what I'm picturing.
Are
I mean, I guess
lines
really
and
you
then
just
it's
have
per-
like the
Instead
one
of
hand.
slicing them, you have to go slowly.
Yeah, you'd have like the one hand, and then you'd have to like go up
Oh,
and
you're
down
talking about the
maybe,
saber.
and like you'd have to drop it to breathe.
Yeah, the saber might be the trombone.
So
Do.
I'm thinking trombone saber, and you're thinking beat trombone.
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
it's
And like maybe you have to like drop the other one for like to breathe. I don't know.
yeah. No, I think that's interesting, and I want to see it. I want to see it. Someone go and do it.
That line of questioning about pub subs or whatever set the chat on fire. I just want to say.
I know everyone's like,
Look,
yeah.
I've
will say-
lived in Wawa country, and I'm telling you, like, going to Publix makes me be like, oh damn, like life doesn't suck. You know what I mean? I can get that Wawa feeling.
You have to trust someone who knows Wawa when a sandwich is good. Yeah.
Oh my god,
For
my
sure.
my friend flew in to help me move like to Florida, like help me pack up all my like furniture and everything, and I took him to Wawa because it was gobbler season, and then like I drove him back to the airport. I'm like, where do you want to go for lunch? And he was like, Wawa, it's gobbler season. It took him one sandwich to be hooked.
Oh, yay!
Hey, what are oh shit moments?
Okay, so I had a paper at a regular conference, and my advisor had seen a version of it, and then I changed it last minute, where I talk about what I call affective zones, which are like, so I talk about the Mario, like a Mario level where you're doing the thing and then you run out of time and it goes like that's in also Mario Kart, all the things, right? Then the music gets faster.
Or I'm back to Pokemon, but I'm thinking doo 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 over the track.
Yes, or anything siren-y or alarmy, right? And I sort of say, okay, so when you're in this level, and you're in the regular music, you're not really paying attention to the music as much. It's kind of just there. You're doing what you want. As soon as it gets faster, now music is a kind of important parameter for understanding what the hell, like, you need to get to the end. And so maybe you play a little bit differently. You no longer kind of perceive the environment as more exploratory. You see blocks, like you see certain things as moving you left to right instead of up to down. Like it's like a kind of a perceptual sort of analysis of affordances of the game based on the music, right? But I called that moment an I don't even think I said oh shit moment. I just said like, and then it's oh shit, I gotta get to the end. But I wanted to create the same sort of affective feeling in the audience of like, what the hell just happened? By saying like oh shit kind of really loudly. As a way to kind of frame it as something like you understand, right?
Yeah.
And my advisor was just like, you didn't that wasn't in your paper before, right? But he didn't really care. And then like yes, and now it's been like hilariously cited as like Grasso's oh shit moment.
Oh my
Specifically that way,
god!
as like any sort of moment in a game where the music is gives you that alarm or shifts in a way that makes you go oh shit. And makes you play in a different way. So that is I'm trying to get it published. We'll see. It's out at the editors now, and I'm a little nervous that they're going to be like, you can't say, oh shit.
No, I was going to say, you have like a thing named after you with a swear.
That is so good.
I know, you're my fucking hero.
This is my best
You're gonna be
thing, yeah.
You're gonna be every undergrad's favorite person.
Yeah!
Until I like give them any grade. No, I'm actually
No, Dr.
I'm the
O'Shit
easiest
gave me a
grader.
D. That rules.
Dr. O'Shit.
Shit.
Oh shit, she gave me a D. Exactly. Yeah, no. Everything's graded on completion and happy vibes.
Honestly, chat, we have no choice but to stand. That is correct.
Aw, yeah. Will Gibbons, another ludomusicologist, once called something burbles, like it's burbling, and now we call him Dr. Burbles. We do like to kind of play around, as so to speak, in this
Damn,
field.
Dr. O'Shit.
Dr. Shit. Yeah, Dr. O'Shit. Grass O'Shit.
Well,
that sounds so bad. Anyway.
Grasso shit? No, I'm with it. Do you want to move confidently into the final part of this interview?
Yes.
Now you've seen the show before. You know we like to do like a fun game at the end of the interview. So, Charles, do you want to set this up?
Yeah. So Julianne.
Yes.
As a hashtag gamer, have you ever encountered a tier list before? Perhaps.
Yes. Yep. I grade on tier lists too.
You grade on tier lists?
Mm-hmm.
Do tell.
Everyone gets if you do it, basically you get an A, but if you do really good, you get an S, and that's extra credit.
So I guess you're gonna have to do a self-assessment for this one because we're making a tier list.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh
no, there's a twist. There's a twist.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh, oops! I have the wrong name up.
What's the twist? Oh, that's me.
The twist is that I didn't set that up right.
Oh shit!
I'm on
shit!
screen.
Oh, hey, thank you for the
Hello.
sub, Destroy John. Hey, Shirley, we're so close to 100 subs. We didn't talk about what we're gonna do. What are you gonna?
Still haven't decided what the hell we're gonna do.
Can we do a live reading of the B movie?
A live reading? Sure.
Shirley once read the script to the B movie for 12 minutes, interrupted on the stream, and I want to bring it back.
Okay.
Shirley, can you describe tier lists to anyone watching
like
this who
jazz?
might not know? Do you like jazz?
So yeah, tier lists, much like jazz, is a way for the community to rank, usually beginning with fighting games. I want to say.
Yep.
Of what people they like to fight with. Yes. And it's been spread into the wider fan community as a general, just sort of cool ass ranking system.
Yeah, we love talking about ways to organize everyday life here in Folkwise and folklore as a field. And
very TISM coded.
We've got a Final Fantasy main series tier list, but we want to switch it up for you. Can you rank the Final Fantasy games from S to D on music?
Music.
Yes.
I can't, but I'm gonna try.
Go for it.
Some of these I don't really know the music to, so I will ask like chat or someone to help me out.
That works.
Maybe vote on.
And we can actually you can have the mouse. I've never done this.
I can actually do this.
You can actually do the
right.
Yeah, try to look on this screen.
Also gonna warn you to tread carefully because chat's about to bust in.
Hey, I'm letting them vote on some stuff, okay?
So 4 is top of S right away. And then 6.
Oh, are they ranked in the tiers?
Yes. So that is top. So that is top.
Oh, hold on.
Oh,
okay,
there we go. You're gonna do that? Yeah, Locke and Rachel coming through. and then 8.
What's shaded is specifically bad.
8's really.
Let me tell you. When I would be writing papers in grad school and I needed like a boost of energy, I would put on Man with a Machine Gun.
Dude, 8's great. 8 is the most underrated soundtrack because
8 slaps. Okay, 7.
Yeah,
You're gonna piss people off with that.
I'm sorry.
Eyes on Me. Eyes on Me is my favorite Final Fantasy song.
Eyes on Me is 8.
I know.
Okay.
But chat's talking about Eyes on Me.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I never sang my song. A battle on the big bridge cannot redeem entirely all of 5.
Yeah.
I don't know 11, so someone's gonna have to really kind of. I know some like 2 tracks from 11, really. 10. This is for the after farts. What is this? Why is it AF?
I don't know. That's for you.
Isn't it after years?
The after fart?
Yeah, but isn't it after years? Why does it say AF?
After farts. Yeah,
after farts. Like,
Chat agrees. It's after farts now.
I mean, we did play Trombone Champ, and now
that's right.
Yeah.
Those are toots.
I haven't finished 14 yet. Like all of the expansions, I'm currently in Shadowbringers, and the music's getting better and better.
I've heard the the longer that game goes on, the better the music is.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put it here. That's actually like I mean earlier I would put it lower, but right now I'm experiencing A tier music. Potentially S tier later. Okay. So one kind of set the stage for so many things, but there's not a lot going on.
There's a lot of that bass line, right?
Yeah, I mean it's so I'm gonna have to put it on.
Oh God, I did.
B.
After all that, I didn't think it would be B.
You thought it'd be lower.
After that setup, yeah.
Well, I think I have to give it a special place of like setting.
B out of respect. Chat
Yeah,
says.
yeah. Respectful B. Respect. Okay. Let's go back. Okay, I don't know about 11. Okay, 15 I have played. Yeah, I'm kind of trying to go in this weird order. I got to After Farts and I got real confused.
That is an F. I don't know what's happening.
I don't know why Farts was the choice. I could have said After Fears or something, right? Okay, 15. Ooh, so
As fuck.
there's a lot of good
Yeah,
music
Final
in
Fantasy
15,
IV as fuck.
but it's just not. It doesn't hit the same.
Yeah, I guess it's the after years, but they abbreviated AF for after.
Oh, after.
Yeah.
Okay. So
that makes
I
sense.
don't know for after years, so unfortunately, so I will also need help with that one. Let me think about 9. 9 has bangers, and it also has my least favorite battle theme, which is the theme that plays all the time. So it sort of like dominates your sort of soundscape. Ooh, so I'm gonna kind of average that sort of out and put it in B plus area. 9. I know. I think that 9 is a game I would rank differently than its soundtrack. I think. Yeah, anyway. 10. We just experienced some delightful Xanarkand energy.
And
a whole
some other stuff.
Scene. 10
Groovin' monkeys.
is also underrated, but it's also has like I think its battle theme is kind of forgettable, which again kind of dominates it. Hoo boy.
You also got Blitzball.
I'm gonna put it after 9, definitely. Yeah, Blitzball, as we say, but probably here.
Okay.
Wait, no, here. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's the thing, because people say 8 is the game with triple triad, also some other stuff. The triple triad music is so good.
I mean, Cruel Angel's Thesis, I think, is the most far-reaching Final Fantasy song, I would argue.
You mean One Winged Angel?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
sort of like fan culture-y kind of thing.
Fan culture-wise, yeah.
Like it is fully breach containment.
You know it, and it's not from Undertale.
Yeah,
They got there eventually. Chat.
Oh
be nice to them. They're baby. They're baby.
3.
Okay.
I thought One Winged Angel was wrong. I thought it was Cruel Angel's Thesis. Parentheses,
nice
One Winged Angel. I was trying.
Chat.
I played myself, okay? I played myself. I'm sorry. I'm specialized.
I'm trying to look at what chat is thinking about me. So 3 also has some bangers, but overall,
Took your heat.
I just don't. Look, the overworld theme is interesting, but I don't love it. But I think I respect it. So I feel like it's weird to have it at the last of all of these, but I haven't put anything in D yet. So we have all the weird 13s, right? We have regular 13 over here.
13.
Oh yeah, and 10-2, which I actually have not played.
Okay.
I have it. I've owned it. I think my brother has played it. I don't think he's on here. But 13 I think is also an underrated soundtrack. I loved it. I don't think it's super memorable, but I loved the vibes generally. So I think I'm going to put it oh yeah, here. Nice B. A lot of B's. Okay. I never really played the other 13s. 13 Lightning Round or whatever that's called.
Lightning Returns?
Yeah, Lightning Returns.
Lightning Round.
I knew it was Lightning. I did play 13.
She becomes Orb.
So we can ponder.
That's what's happening in like the art for 13. It's
Oh.
like lightning becoming round.
Yeah. Becoming
Yeah, she
become
becomes
round.
she becomes the moon. Spoilers.
Then we ponder. And then we ponder the moon.
Revenant Wings, I didn't play, but I know it's good. But
Okay.
I don't really know the music for Revenant Wings. 12, I think 12. I'm gonna put 12 here. Every track has this weird reverb on it that I just don't like.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
It
you're
has
right.
some good ones. It does have some good ones. I love like the Rabinaster music. I love all that, but it's really not great. And then 2, which I've played, I haven't finished. I never finished 2. It has a few standouts, but like I actually can't really. I'm gonna put it at. There's nothing that's D tier. Everything's C.
Nothing's D.
Nothing's
Nothing
D.
goes to D.
Unless chat thinks some of these that I don't
think
really know.
Chat thinks 12 is D.
What about like Rabinaster alone puts it up at C, I would say.
Wow.
But no, I don't think anything is a true D. That's why. You think 2, 11, 12 is D. Yeah, it is. They did try to ring out Final Fantasy 13 for a very long time. Yeah, I don't know where to put these other ones.
We can rename D like didn't play.
Didn't play.
Yeah.
Didn't play. A lot of these.
Here, and then just like click on the letter, like highlight the letter D. Yeah, we can just go.
Oh, whoa. Okay. Yeah, I
we have
stand
it.
by this now, like looking back. Yeah, I stand by it.
The
I stand by it.
official Final Fantasy tier list by music.
By a ludomusicologist.
By a ludomusicologist, so you know she knows what she's talking about.
Uh-huh. Including
And-
the didn't playlist.
And you know, I normally try to sum this up. Okay, I think I can do it. On a
Okay.
scale from S to didn't play, how excited are you to get in a random encounter for the battle music? There we go, and that's your tier list.
I think that's because because these games make you listen to battle music constantly,
I mean,
so it has to be
Just looking at that and hearing da
Yeah.
da 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 da.
exactly. Like how could you not?
We didn't even
S tier
mention
that?
like the opera.
Shit.
Fucking the last boss is like a church music.
Oh yeah, dancing man. I mean,
fucking-
we talked about it so much.
We talked about it already so
So,
much. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, band with the machine gun. Holy shit.
I
yeah.
do love. We mentioned that right before
We
you
did
got
talk
here.
about it when you weren't here. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
we did
FF6
mention
opera.
Man with a Machine Gun, Triple Triad.
I do love the 13 battle theme. That does. And the boss battle theme for 13 is great.
But the problem is, it's stuck behind 10.
It's stuck behind 10.
That's a hurdle.
Although I do like 13's battle theme more than 10, but I think 10 has, I mean, Suteki Dane and Tizanarkand, that weird lightning one. It's not 13. The beep book book. Yes. I don't know it off the top of my head, but it's so cool, that one track. Anyway, whatever. There's a lot of cool tracks in 10, besides the battle theme, which I don't think is that great. Does 7 remake have different music than 7 original? It has a really redone versions of the original themes.
Really
It's
fleshed
like
out.
really dynamic, like they're like all these like adaptive full orchestral pieces. It's really cool. I mean, there's some new-ish material, but it builds off of the original.
Yeah. Kind of what we were talking about earlier with like your students. Where it's like the opening cinematic of the 7 remake, which I like watched on like Twitch, but I watched someone play the whole thing, but I've like never played it. You know, like. As it starts, I'm like, I don't remember this game sounding like this, but I remember this song happening. You know what I mean? I was expecting like,
yes,
and it was like a
bombing
swell.
mission thing.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my my god, are we doing Dancing Mad next? All right, chat, you have it here.
Yeah.
There's only a few more things we can do at the end of this interview. Number one, you mentioned it earlier with Bardic Knowledge, but where can people find you if they want more? What can they read if they want more of these takes? Direct the chat.
I did write a dissertation on video game music that kind of includes some of those oh shit moments. So that's on
this
ProQuest.
is Julianne Grasso from ProQuest.
Yes. Twitch.tv/Bardic Knowledge on Thursdays. I'm on Twitter at Julianne Grasso. I did privatize my Twitter for the purpose of this.
Poggers.
In Florida, you don't really know what you can say.
That's true. That's true.
So I was being really complaining, and I was a little bit private for that, but I think I deleted some of those tweets. Hopefully.
I respect that.
Anyway, so public, and I don't really do other things. I'm trying to publish more things that you can read, but that's there's some links. Knowledge.uchicago.edu.
Thanks, Shirley.
That sounds like my dissertation. Yeah.
Thank you, Shirley.
Hell yeah.
It's Shirley. Hey, and everyone. Thank you, Shirley, because they only have one hand.
So Musicologist, Dana has a Twitch channel called Kudo Musicology.
Ooh.
That's
a pun I enjoy.
I know. It's on typically Fridays at 2 p.m. That is sort of like a lit review stream. So she sort of reads like some article or something and then invites the author to talk through it. So I'll be there on Mario Day, not talking about Mario, but talking about my Theater Rhythm chapter that I wrote. And like, if you want to DM me or email me, like my email is also on my random faculty page. Just Google whatever. Email me, and I can send you anything. Like, not everyone has access to some of the like writing and various things, but if there's something that strikes your fancy, I'm so happy to share everything for free. Even though not supposed to. Yes, there's Dana's channel. She posts.
Oh, hell yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
And do you want to know how good your interview was? I did not even prompt them with ladders in the chat, and they are already dropping ladders for you. So everyone, keep bringing those ladders. Every emote you got at this point. If you don't have ladders, you can subscribe, and if you're not subscribing, a hearty GG is fine. But everyone would like it better if there were ladders.
Hey.
Look at that wall of ladders.
Wow, you got infinity ladders. Is that because you are the owner of the thing?
Yes.
Wow.
That is how that works.
Quilts have meaning on many levels. Making quilts helped me to get a sense of my own space, sense of finding my way, sense of really working my way out of my labyrinth.